We are going to be talking about some of the disadvantage attached to a child that is from a broken home. Such children suffer from parental love and guidance. I can remember some years ago, I was called to come see a boy, a very young boy of age 8 or age 9, and a whole lot of complaint was going about this boy. They said his name was Samuel, and they said he was not going to school. This boy was, a whole lot of mischievous characters, so I went to go see this boy in his school, and people were expecting I should just come and start disciplining the boy. So, and I took the boy to a corner. I just sat him down that very day, and we sat down in his school, and children were just coming. We didn't say anything. I just made him feel comfortable, and I had my hands across his shoulders, and I, communicated to him. I said, Samuel, I'm hearing a whole lot of complaint about you. What could be the issue? And he said, sir, please, I want to go see my father. I was like, where's your father? He said, they gave birth to me. Since when they gave birth to me, I've not seen my father. You understand? So what's the point? A whole lot of children who are from broken homes are suffering from parental love. Maybe the ones that with their fathers, they haven't seen their mothers, or the father is too powerful, and mostly feel it's more about them, and these children are left out. So children from broken home, they suffer from parental love and parental guidance. Second disadvantage I have here is that sometimes these children suffer from growing up with their siblings. Hence, they keep moving from relatives to neighbors to families, friends, etc. to help take care of them. And this tends to affect the bond they ought to have with their siblings. I don't know how it is in the Western world, but here in Africa, especially in Nigeria, when we have like a single mother, due to probably the financial stress, she tends to, give the children to friends and relatives who, will request for these children. And it's okay, right? On a normal sense, like if you want to go from a pity perspective, but if you check it out, these children, they suffer, the time they ought to have to grow this bond within themselves as siblings is being stolen away from them. And you have them maybe when they're already of age, they're adults, and they can't relate to themselves. I'm also a product of a broken home. My mom had a daughter she had before my family. So I can remember when I even spoke to the lady today, she called me. So most of the times I see there's a time she came visiting us, and we do have a lot of quarrel because she grew up from different places, and we've learned different things. So the bonding, it has to take a whole lot of time. Most of these children grow up to become nuisance in the society because of the background they are coming from. The percentage of the children, that, into prostitution, the bad boys and bad girls in the community, check them. They are from, dysfunctional, families. And most of them are products from broken homes. Why? If you check the 4 elements of civilization, the family, the church, the school, and I think of recent they say social media, the family has, the most vital role to play. So the family is the place at which morals of every child is being built. So where there's already deficiency at the point where the moral will be built, those children grow up to become nuisance in the community. If the family gets it wrong, there's no way the church, the school, and it can help. These children suffers from being taken advantage of physically and most times sexually. If you're even talking about sexually, it's more common. Children from broken home. I was hearing from one woman, and it just broke me. The family wasn't complaining, and she was telling the children, go meet brother, chop afternoon food for brother house. She sleep there, and brother, let me even go carry her. And those children are thoroughly exposed, to sexual abuse. And what I even tagged here as physical abuse that most people are not talking about, we are not emphasizing enough on the physical abuse. Children who are from broken homes, due to the circumstances that is attached to the background they came from, they tend to be bullied by their mates, bullied by even people above them. People in the society, they turn them to the errand boys. You understand? You have cases like, okay, I'll send you on this errand. If you don't want to get this thing, so before I will give you food. So you have a woman that has her own children at home, but because this child is a product from a broken home, she'll say, okay, go and get this thing on this errand for me. If you come back, I will give you food. So these are some of the disadvantages of familiarity. And what am I talking about societal familiarity? A lot of people grew up, to see the circumstances that was attached, to, your birth and how you grew up. So let me use myself for example. They grew up to see how, your mother was being physical abused, and, the children grew up as this pity factor. So right now, I'm growing up into a man, and, I've understood, the circumstances, I was brought up in, and I've said, adding positively in my life, to become a better figure. But, because of the societal familiarity that is attached to my birth, people tend to underlook you, So they when you are coming up and probably you are amongst their children and you are aiming for something big and you are communicating it, they tend to look down on you and feel, achieving such level of success is not meant for, a person like you. So a whole lot of familiarity attached, they don't tend to believe in you, they tend to underrate your ideas, they tend to underrate your points. This as a result of, the familiarity that is attached, to your birth. So next we'll be talking about the traumas that a child from a broken home go through. And before I even talk about that, a whole lot of children who are products from a broken home don't even know they are exhibiting some traumatic traits. A whole lot of them are traumatized, but they don't even know. Like, you meet a girl and she keeps yelling. She just like, I just have anger issue. That's my kind of nature. She don't even understand, like, I'm exhibiting trauma as a result of the background I'm coming from. So we are going to be listing some of the traumas, and we're going to be discussing how we heal from these traumas. First of all, you see, they're always negative with their words. I don't know if you are with them, such kind of people. You see, mostly if you tend to, tell, maybe you are having an idea and you are pitching how, we are going to achieve it, they tend to find negativity, in them. So one of, the traumas mostly children from broken home go through, because based on they grew up in a background that, was full of negativity. So that negative trait becomes, their lifestyle. Another trauma like children from broken homes encounter is the transfer of similar negative patterns from their parents. That's where you have a boy whose father normally, physically abuses his mother, and he grows into a man. He starts, abusing his own wife. So this is another trauma that children from broken home go. You have a girl who, she's a product of a broken home, and she grew up with her mom alone, and she the repeated pattern the mom start confessing men as scum, all men are the same, and you see those girls grow up with the same transfer of pattern, with that ideology of men are the same, men are scum. So nextly, children from broken homes, due to how they grew up, maybe they started fame from themselves at the early age, they became so mature at a very early age, they tend to, mirror life from, a difficult perspective. When I'm talking about mirroring life from a difficult perspective, they don't want to believe, they can also enjoy luxury.